Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. I wanted to say hi real quick. I'm in New York this week, handling some business, and so being in New York, it makes me think about hip hop and rappers and all the rappers that I know, and one rapper that I don't know, that I don't really need to know one way or the other, is Cardi B. Cardi B has she just put out a new single called "Press." And I thought this was interesting because I wanted to kind of share some quick thoughts and insights in terms of what I think is kind of happening right now. You haven't heard from Cardi, if you recall, you haven't heard from Cardi since she got outed as the Bill Cosby, the black female Bill Cosby of hip hop, and there's a lot of debate about whether or not her confession of drugging men and sexually violating men and robbing men and things like that, it could be compared to Bill Cosby, and I really found it kind of puzzling that we can drag a black man all through the mud and just destroy him and literally cancel him completely. But when it's a woman, it's sort of like, oh, well, it's okay. These are, after all, the victims were just black men, so who gives a shit about that? I think that there's room for further dialogue on this, and I think that what Cardi's team might be trying to do, honestly, is trying to deflect. I think that they said, okay, let's lay low, for a few weeks, and then we're going to pop out with a big song, and everybody's going to forget about the fact that you confessed to drugging men and pretty much, again, doing what Bill Cosby used to do, allegedly did to women. Again, but there's no proof. Bill Cosby never confessed. That's the main difference. Cardi confessed. Cardi talked about it. Bill never confessed to drugging anybody against their will. I think that there was something in the trial where they said, have you ever given women drugs for the purposes of sex? And what people don't know is that he never confessed to giving them drugs against their will. A lot of the women he was involved with were drug addicts, so they probably asked for the drugs in many cases. Doesn't mean Bill didn't do something he shouldn't have done, but I think that this it's interesting how the media will just switch and flip the truth and will just not respond when you bring logic to the table. I'm not a stupid person. I'm a professor, so I see everything. I analyze things in a way that's different from everybody else. So I see the stupidity that's sort of mass marketed, and we're just sort of expected to absorb that and to accept that. Well, I don't accept that. I think that there should be a further explanation as to why you're assuming that him saying that he gave women drugs, that meant that he gave them drugs against their will. And again, what I'm really finding, honestly, is that when it comes to women, it seems like there's a benefit of the doubt. Like, well, there's a reason why this person did this terrible thing. There's an excuse for why they did X, Y, Z, or it must have been okay, or it wasn't as bad. But when it's a black man, it's not just a matter of even just assuming that he must have had ill intent, but it's a matter of not even considering the fact that there could be an alternative explanation. Like when it comes to the black man, there is no sort of extra like okay, well, maybe this was what was going on, or he was just trying to survive, or maybe he just was, maybe they just agreed to do it together, and there is no proof, or whatever, right? Those arguments come into play when you talk about other people, but they don't come into play when you talk about black men, because I'm still trying to understand, honestly. You guys, tell me what you think. I'm trying to understand why the Cardi confession is not compared to the Cosby situation. Cardi, Cosby, Cardi, Cosby. The only difference is that in Cosby's case, there's no evidence, and in Cosby's case, there's no confession. With Cardi, you do have a confession. Not evidence, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to hear from some of the victims or whatever, but at the end of the day, I think that we just got to stop doing this. Stop assuming that the black man is naturally guilty and that everybody else is innocent and okay and there's nothing bad that they could ever do. Like, seriously, I mean, even the whole Me Too movement, I've seen a lot of men get taken down, because they grabbed a lady's butt or whatever. It's fine. No justification for that behavior. But I haven't seen any women taken down. And I think that if we want to believe, if we live in a world where we believe men and women should be considered equal, then you can't just say that women and men are only equal in areas that are good. You must also consider the fact that women and men must be equal in areas that are bad. So why are all the so-called predators of the world that are being outed, they're all men? Or do we believe that there's not a woman anywhere who's ever done anything bad to a man? Am I a sexist for, why is it that people consider me sexist just for even bringing up this point? I think that, again, that's part of the fact that, look, a lot of times it's easier to be a predator when people assume that there's no way you could be a predator. Like if people believe that there's absolutely no way a woman could prey on men, then it's very easy for a predatory woman to use the veil of victimhood as a way to protect herself from any sort of accusation that might be easily leveled on a black man. Black men going down every day. You got Albert Wilson right now in prison, got 12 years, college student out in Kansas. Please look it up. This brother, 12 years in prison for a rape where there's no proof at all. There's nothing. It's like literally white people just create this shit out of thin air. He was with the girl alone for 5 minutes. He only kissed her. They never had sex. She was all over him. She wanted to have sex with him. And for some reason, they locked him up. And nobody is asking the questions. Am I the only one out here? Like, I need some help, man. Seriously. I'm like, am I living in the Twilight Zone? Like, that's what it feels like, the Twilight Zone. When you see something clearly and you're bringing it up. And all society's like, we don't see anything. I can't. That's crazy to me. I'm like, wake up, black people. Like, seriously, when you talk about being woke, we're not woke if we don't see some of these issues. We're not woke if we don't see what's really being done to black men all over this country. So, again, with Cardi B, here's what I'll give a quick summary on the Cardi B thing. Then we got to go. We're about to go out and run in a minute. The thing about the Cardi B thing is that, first off, I think the new single was released to distract and deflect away from the fact that the last time you heard from Cardi, people were comparing her to Bill Cosby. Number two, I think that the new single is also there to cover up the fact that she's actually on trial right now for something that related to some fight in a club. Some girl got beat up in a club. I don't know. It's bizarre. And again, this is not even really a matter of saying I think Cardi B's a horrible, horrible person. It's me saying I don't think black men are horrible, horrible people the way society portrays us. And I think, when I see brothers just dropping like flies and going to prison for nothing, when there's no evidence, and I see other people getting away with all kinds of nonsense. I mean, literally committing crimes and confessing to them on, social media to millions of people, and society looks the other way. Y'all need to look at your damn selves. You need to look at the world that you live in and, just say, well, what the hell's wrong with you? Seriously, it's not right. So anyway, I'm going to go. If you don't like Facebook or you want an alternative to Facebook, join us at blagenough.com. This is where we have authentic black conversations. This is our social media platform. We trademark this word, blag enough. If you're black enough, get it, blag enough, blag enough. Anyway, feel free to join us at blagenough.com. It's going to become a members-only site in the sense that pretty soon you're only going to be able to get in if you get invited by somebody that's already in. But we're going to let a few more people in before we shut it down like that. So feel free to go to blagenough.com, hit the thumbs up button, share button, and subscribe button. And also, if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. Take care. Bye-bye.